I think my dad had one of those.
I appreciate that. It's narrow.
I guess we haven't talked to you in a while, so what was your reaction to Tony's stuff going?
Man, that's old news.
We've been talking in a
Yeah.
while.
I just, what a way to go out. I think he's the best. I mean, he's somebody that's going to, you can't fill those shoes. You really, I think it's a tremendous, it's not a blow because of who we've got stepping in there, but I think certainly he brought something to this organization that very few guys have ever brought to a team from the manager's position, and he will be missed. But that having been said, I think the organization picked the right guy for the job, and I'm excited about playing for Mike.
What was your thought when you heard that Albert had signed with the Angels?
I was going to be playing first. I was a little surprised, but to be honest with you, the longer it went into the offseason, well, it didn't really go that long, but I just felt like if there wasn't a deal done pretty quickly, that there was a chance that he was going to go somewhere else. And it's surprising. I mean, certainly if you'd asked me at this time last year, I would have said, hey, there's absolutely no way he's going to go anywhere, but be here his entire career. It's hard to imagine Albert playing for anybody else. And, I thought I was always going to be in Houston, and here I am, a happy member of the St. Louis Cardinals. So you can't ever tell in this day and age. I mean, this game is it's a business first and foremost, and and it works on both sides. And I think he's going to do great in Anaheim. We're certainly going to miss him. It's hard to replace a guy like that, but I still like our club. I think we'll have a better pitching staff than we did last year. I think our bullpen is more settled than it was at this time last year, and when you add a guy like Carlos Beltran, our offense is still going to be good.
And you and Matt have both, we asked Matt about this, you guys have both been kind of faces of a franchise before. With Albert departing, does anything change for you or him, either in the clubhouse or outside in the city or with us or anything like that?
Well, we were both wondering if it would be too early to ask for number 5 if we could shoot. No, nothing changes. I mean, you just do what you do. You go out there, and I mean, all you can do is just go out there and play the best of your ability. And like I said, I'm still excited about this team. I think would it have been a slam dunk even if Albert had come back that we'd return to the postseason and do great? Not necessarily. And so, similarly, it doesn't mean that it doesn't spell the death knell for the franchise that he's not here. But I mean, sure, you'd love to have a guy like that, but you can't go out there and I'm not going to go try to replace what he did as a first baseman. I'm not going to try to hit 40 plus home runs and drive in 130. I mean, I'm just going to go out there and play the best that I can play, and Matt's going to do the same. And the championship was won not by one guy, but by 25, and I still think we have a very strong 25-man roster.
So you're good with first base then? Is that cool? I thought you liked to stretch your legs in the outfield.
I do like, either way. I mean, it's a lot easier to make the All-Star team as an outfielder. I know that. But I'm ready to go play first base. I love it. I mean, it's my favorite position. So.
You told us last year that it was better on your knees than outfield. Were you just saying that?
Yeah, I was just joking with y'all.
Spinning.
It's just different. I mean, like I said this last year, outfield you've got more straight line running. I mean, you've got to be able to run. First base, there's a lot more, lateral starts and stops, side to side, that kind of thing. A little more agility involved there. So, just different. It's just different. But the wear and tear, it's probably not going to be much worse.
How much did winning a World Series, you think, validate your career? And say you would have played 16, 17 years and never won a World Series. You think that would have been something you really felt like you obviously missed out on?
Yeah, it's a great experience. I probably didn't give it enough credit for being as great as it is. It's just I'm still kind of pinching myself and turning to my wife every once in a while. I'll be like, "Can you believe we won that thing?" But it's just it's outstanding. I mean, it's what you play for. But I don't think until you've won one, you can understand. It's what a great feeling it is.
Hey, Lance, aside from the production standpoint, you lose some guys like Carrio and Laird, who were glue guys, and you lose Albert, who's obviously a core player here. How much of a variable do you think the mix, for my word, is this year? Or do you sense that what y'all had here in terms of character guys is so strong that that's really not a question going into spring training this year?
Well, it's one of those wait and see things. I don't think you can discount it entirely because, like you said, I mean, it's a special mix of guys, and it's funny because, you know, even though everybody adds something to that, and whenever you start subtracting pieces, even if they, you know, like you said, like, you know, Laird was a guy that didn't play a ton, but you know, had a tremendous impact in the clubhouse, and so those guys are going to be missed. There's no doubt about it. But I do believe that we do have a lot of high character guys remaining, and there's a lot of guys that you know, are going to drive this thing, and it'll just going to be different. I mean, it may not necessarily be better or worse, but I think it will be different whenever you subtract guys and then add some new faces, and it just takes a while for everybody to kind of settle in and for the team to come together, and so hopefully that happens sooner rather than later.
But it doesn't change what you do, I assume.
No, I mean, you can't approach it any different. You just have to be who you are, and like I said, I think we've got enough familiarity now. I mean, we've got enough returners and got enough high character guys that that's. I don't see it being an issue, but I guess you never know until you get out there and come together.
Well, a lot was made last year about your off-season program and really kind of getting yourself in shape to run a whole lot and play the outfield. What's different this year for you now that you've kind of got that comeback player of the year under your belt?
I can just relax now. I don't know. And I'm playing first base, so I can get huge. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, now nothing really changes. I think as you age, you learn that you got to do a little bit more. You got to be a little bit more conscious of how you prepare for the season, and I learned a lot about that last year, and just doing a lot of the same things that I did. Obviously, a shorter off season, and you want to take the time to heal too. So it's just you have to balance it. You kind of have to listen to your body, what it's telling you. And, but the bottom line is, I mean, I'll be ready to go when we open camp.
Lance, a year ago, would it be fair or unfair to expect the same kind of numbers as last year that you put up? I mean, or do you even look at it that way?
I mean, fairness, yeah, it's fair. I mean, heck, if I don't do that, I'll be disappointed. So, I think those are pretty close to my career averages. So, until I get really old, I would expect myself to be able to produce that.
Lance, a year ago, you said your mindset was such that you really liked being on a one-year contract because it allowed you to decide each year whether you want to continue. Has your mindset changed at all after you've won this World Series and settled in here?
Not really. I mean, I think, I'm not saying that it would be out of the question to sign something, an extension even earlier this year than I did last year. But for the most part, it's I don't mind being on a one-year deal, and just kind of keeps your options open. And you just never know what's going to happen. It's an interesting place to be in your career, and obviously, what you think, what you like to have happen, a lot of times doesn't. And so it gives me a lot of flexibility, and who knows. I also don't want to be the guy that is making a bunch of money and not pulling his weight. So that to me is a benefit to having the one-year contract. Because hey, if I play good, I want to get paid good. If I don't play good, then I don't expect the team to pay me. So
are you doing the same off-season plan you did last year?
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, I remember all the plyometrics and the stop and start stuff and the shuttles. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. I mean, similar, and not exactly the same thing, but very similar.
You still remove the Whataburger element from it, or you?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's even last year, you sneak in a hamburger every once in a while. I mean, you have to. My goodness.
What's it called? Specific program, is it CrossFit, or I mean?
No, it's just it's my Lance Berkman.
You had to market that.
Yeah, no, actually Ben Fairchild is my trainer. He's the guy that developed the program. So, but the world's supposed to end this year anyway. So what the heck?
But you're working with him again this year.
Yeah. the Mayan calendar is running out. That's what somebody told me, so I was like, I can eat whatever I want to now.
Numbers aside, tell us about why Carlos Beltran is going to be a nice fit here.
Well, he's just, he's a great guy. I mean, he's very soft-spoken. He's low-key. He's not a guy that's going to come in and rock the boat from that standpoint. But I think to me, it's more than just about his offensive numbers. He can win a game. He can steal a base. He can make a great play in the outfield. He's just a great baseball player.
Has the offseason been any different for you, having a shorter time than what you did after winning the World Series?
No, I mean, I still do the same things, just less time to do them.
Lance, did you give a sales pitch to Beltran?
No, actually, I didn't. I sent him a text, or actually, I think I left him a voicemail before he signed, just saying, hey, it'd be great to have him as a teammate, and that was about it.
Did he? Have you gotten any indication whether, I know some people speculate, but he didn't play a single inning in center field last year. Is there any indication that he might be able to play an X number of innings in center this year?
Yeah, I think too much is made of, I mean, heck, I hadn't played the outfield in 7 or 8 years, and, I wasn't Willie Mays out there, but I did a decent job last year. And, I mean, if you're athletic enough to have done that at some point, I mean, the man's only 35. He's a year younger than I am. So I think while it may not be in his best interest to run out there in center field every single day, there's no doubt that he could do it. I mean, I don't believe that, that he's ready for the rocking chair. And he's pretty. He runs pretty out there. I mean, he's got a great, way about him, a grace that, that will handle that center field position very, very well.
Hey, Lance, sorry to interrupt, but we gotta get up to the autograph.
Oh, fun.
Thank you, sir.